Hey y'all, welcome back. So, Quant has been going up recently. What the heck is going on? Why is it going up so much? Should I buy it? Will it continue to go up more? These are the questions we will be going through in this video. Just a quick introduction to this channel. So, I go through fundamental analysis for various crypto, DLT, blockchain projects. I also do a bit of stuff for Quant. Well, not for them, but I make content around Quant network. So if you like the sound of that, hit the like and subscribe button. And also, this is not financial advice. So why the heck is Quant going up? Well, in this article, it basically says that it was due to a release on one of their new products. I think it was called Quant Tokenize. But, I don't think it's never really just one thing. It's multiple things. And it's the multiple things that Quant has been doing over the past few years, which has built really strong fundamentals from the ground up. So in this video, we'll go through some of them. And I'm going to show you basically why you should be looking at this project. If you're not already, if the price action hasn't convinced you already. But basically the three things that make Quant have strong fundamentals is that interoperability, specifically enterprise interoperability, actually makes sense. And this is what Quant's main use case is basically interoperability. It actually makes sense. Second thing is, it's on the right side of regulation. Gilbert Verdian, the CEO, if you look at his LinkedIn, just do yourself a favor, just go to his LinkedIn, look at his credentials. He's a regulator himself. He's had, 20 plus years in the internet space regulating, large institutions. He was like cybersecurity chief for several large institutions. So just go look at that. And then the third thing is that the value accrues very well into the Quant token because all transactions on the overledger, which is Quant Network's platform, all transactions require the Quant token. And there's a limited supply. There's only 14 million Quant tokens. So the value accrues very fast in the Quant tokens. So I'll go through these step by step in this video. So let's continue. So the first thing is, why is interoperability in enterprise so valuable? Why is interoperability so important in the context of what is happening in the world right now? Well, it goes back to, there's quite a lot of things going on geopolitically in the world now. The world is each country is very globally connected, and there's basically a global financial system, right? But, the things have been changing now, and, there's various, movement towards CBDCs. So this is Mark Carney here. He used to be the former governor of the Bank of England. And what he's basically saying is that, there needs to be a change in the system. How the system works at the moment with the US dollar at the top, it's not healthy for the entire system. And, whether you like it or not, just take a look at this map here. This is a map of all the CBDC activity in the world. So whether you like it or not, CBDCs are coming. Each country has their own little project. There's a lot of activity going on. So whether you like CBDCs or not, it's happening already. Okay. And in the past few years, there's a lot of talks about a new financial system or a competing financial system to what is existing, right? So the US sort of euro dollar system. And this article just says, the BRICS nations are, Russia and China are looking to use a digital ruble, which is a CBDC, to do transactions with each other. So whether you like it or not, it's happening. And so how does this connect back to interoperability? Well, if you go through all the BIS documents, it basically mentions that interoperability is a serious challenge that still is outstanding. It's still yet to be solved. And if we look back at history, specifically the Web 2 how Web 2 came about, the internet. The internet only really took off after there was interoperability, which is TCP/IP. So interoperability is important because right now blockchain networks are all siloed. There's nothing really connecting each other. So the adoption, the efficiency, the scale is really limited because there's no interoperability. So interoperability is important not just for CBDCs, but for the entire space. It's really important for the future of blockchain. But how does Quant come in? How does actually Quant come into the interoperability story here? Well, I always like to go back to this little chart here. This shows that enterprise, which are, I guess you could say, big companies, they're all using permissioned blockchains. So you see here Hyperledger Fabric, that's permissioned. Ethereum, well, it says Ethereum, but it's actually Enterprise Ethereum, which is permissioned. Corda is permissioned. Bitcoin, I'm not sure what's happening over here. Quorum is permissioned. XRP is permissioned. So basically it's all permissioned, and the difference being between permissioned and permissionless is that the enterprise want permissioned and private blockchain networks because they're not going to build their enterprise on a transparent permissionless blockchain where all their data is viewable, because they have contracts in place, they have service level agreements in place. There's things in those contracts which say you can't just display everything in the public, right? So that's why enterprise blockchain is, I would say, majority of where blockchain is being adopted. Yes, there's permissionless blockchain being adopted, but when you look at it as a whole, it's more being adopted by those individual sort of retail developers, right? So when you look at it, the scale is really coming from enterprise. So kicking things off, we see here Quant. I think I've shown this several times on my channel. If you haven't looked at my Quant network video, the 1 hour one, go look at it. It goes through SIA, goes through the Spunta DLT, goes through a timeline, but basically SIA is you could say, is the SWIFT of Europe. Okay, and Quant and SIA are partnered. Then we see here that Nexi, they've merged with SIA, and we know that Nexi is definitely using all the Quant technology. Nexi is, they're just a massive company in Europe. They handle all the payments in Europe. And then we see here Nexi is partnered with Microsoft to develop digital payment solutions. And then following the Spunta DLT, we see here that the European Central Bank chose Nexi, who actually did the Spunta DLT. I suppose they liked their, they had a good, it looks good on their CV, I suppose, the Spunta DLT. So the ECB chose Nexi to do the digital euro. Okay. Again here, Nexi, I think this article just says basically their revenues have been overshooting expectations quite massively. So Nexi is huge. Moving on here, we see LackChain. Gilbert has mentioned LackChain multiple times on all the, all his media engagements. They're building the Latin American dollar. Yes, the Latin American dollar, which is basically, all the LATAM countries. They're building a CBDC that is allowing each country to, do transactions with each other on a much more efficient platform. And basically, what this dashboard is saying is it's just counting all the nodes, blocks, organizations joining the LackChain framework. But I've been following this little LackChain thing for a while now. I can tell you that they are consistently adding 5 nodes every single month on average, and they're consistently adding 3 organizations every single month. It's constantly growing. In fact, I believe in past 2 months, they've added 8 new nodes and another 8 new organizations. So, maybe that's where the price rise is coming from. Quant is involved in this. They're the interoperability provider for this framework, and this is constantly growing. So who is behind LangChain? Well, it's the IDB Group. The IDB Group is a huge inter-American development bank. They've invested billions of dollars into LATAM, the LATAM region. But we see here, if we follow the IDB Group and what they've been doing, they've been slowly creating use cases, actual functioning in production, financial use cases for blockchain. So we see here, this article says, the Vivienda Bank issued Colombia's first blockchain bond. This all falls within LangChain. You see here, again, it's just more coverage on what IDB is doing. I think here that it says they've issued the first Spanish blockchain bond issuance in the Spanish market, BME. This all, again, falls within LangChain. And then this article, again, says the same thing. BME, BBVA, and IDB issue the first regulated bond in Spain. So these organizations, if you just Google them, these are massive, massive financial institutions. And if we take a deeper look, see here, BME, the SIX group acquires a controlling stake of BME. So this is quite significant because who is SIX? SIX is a financial market infrastructure operator company who we know has some sort of connection with Quant. So, this is I guess a little bit of speculation here, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Then let's look at the next thing, Oracle. Everybody knows what Oracle is or who they are. They've got a blockchain platform. They specifically talk about connecting cross-ledger support, orchestration network for the various ledgers, the various blockchains that they have on their cloud. And when you look at it deeper, you can see that they specifically mention Quant. Quant went through their startup accelerator program. Quant is an official technology partner with Oracle. So you can be sure that Oracle is, approaching all their clients. If their clients need some interoperability solution, you can be sure that they will be recommending Quant to them. And Oracle, Oracle's huge. I think they have like more than 40,000 clients, big clients as well. So, see here, this article here, it says HSBC partners Oracle to transport digital transformation. It doesn't say anything about Quant here, but I'm trying to say, Quant is an official partner of Oracle, and who knows who knows who they could be speaking to. And then we know Quant is, there's some connections with consortiums. So we'll go through some of them here. GSBN, which is sort of a global supply chain network. I think they have, pretty big companies involved. Hapag-Lloyd, I know who they are. Costco, I'm sure everyone knows who they are. If we take a deeper look here, we know that Oracle is helping them build this GSBN. We can see on this article here that, Gilbert is on this article. And basically it talks about interoperability. I don't know why they would use Quant as an example when they're talking about the projects they're working on here. Another one is Contour. Again, if you look at Contour here, they're another supply chain consortium. I think it's trade finance. They're pretty big. I believe they connect all the sort of different networks into a network of network. So you see here, TradeLens is a big one. CargoX, we know CargoX to be a permissionless version of this sort of use case. And we see here in this article they mention Contour and Quant. TradeLens is another big one. TradeLens is developed by IBM and Maersk. By the way, shout out to San, at SanNL11 here. You guys should give him a follow if you want to look at Quant research and updates. He's really good. Basically, he's found here some literature talking about TradeLens, and then it shows this Quant URL here. I mean, why is this used as an example here? You could say it's speculation, yes, but there's only so much times you can see the same thing again and again and again. I mean, there has to be something going on, right? Then again here, SAN has found the ICICI, which is the largest private bank in India. If you watch this video, they basically, I won't play it, but basically they talk about interoperability. They mention Quant. So, there's various things going on. I haven't even gone through all of them yet. Another big one is ODAP, which, see here, Quant is here, MIT is here, Internet Engineering Task Force. This is something that the US government is doing with MIT, Intel, and Quant is on this paper. So yeah, I don't know how, what more do you need to see, to be honest? All those organizations we've looked at, they're massive. I haven't even covered all of them. These are just a few of them only. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you really. So to summarize all of that, in the first step of looking at the use case, they're being used by large institutions in a use case which is needed everywhere. Interoperability is very important. And they're the only sort of project which allows those enterprise users to maintain their privacy, but in a way that is easy, in a way that you can use multiple different ledgers. It just makes sense, right? So moving on to step 2, we see regulations, right? So we see here, there's been a recent, sort of burst of regulatory news. This kind of coincides with the run-up in price. I don't know if it's coincidence or not. I don't know I don't know. It just, things just happen all at the same time sometimes, and it's just a bit of a coincidence. But we see here, Gilbert is talking about, the benefits of CBDCs. Then we see here, MiCA has been passed, which is markets in crypto assets regulation. This regulation was talking about how stablecoins should be treated. This really came from that whole Terra Luna incident, but this has been passed now recently. This was 5th October. So this is very good for Quant because, Quant is operating in a space which requires regulation. All these enterprises, they're sort of sitting on the sidelines. They don't want to take huge risks. They're big sort of, they're big lumbering beasts which need to protect what they already have. So they don't take too much risks. So they wait for regulations. But we see here, this is passed. I don't know if this had anything to do with the price. Maybe they were waiting for this green light. And that sort of meant that Quant can go and then buy all those Quant up for their customers. But this is very huge news. Then on the same day, we see here the EU proposes to do digital euro legislation in 2023. It's all sort of lining up here. It's all lining up for Quant, lining up for the big banks, lining up for enterprise. It's just coincidence that it's all within the same month. And also the price rise was also all in the same month. I don't know, guys. Call it what you want, Then we see here, this was released recently. UK lawmakers vote to recognize crypto as regulated financial instruments. This is good. The UK, the Europe in general is pretty, they move pretty quickly in terms of progressing regulations for crypto assets. So we see here that this is, they're just giving a nod towards crypto to be regulated as an actual, alongside bonds, alongside stocks, alongside property. They're saying, crypto deserves regulation like any other thing. So this is great. And also recently, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to UK news, but Rishi Sunak is the new Prime Minister. He is pro-crypto. He also has worked with Gilbert in the past. So call it what you want, but it can only mean good things. This is the UK's official government sort of domain here. We see that they actually have now a crypto assets technical fact sheet here. So we see regulations are moving ahead in UK. Quant is based in UK, so I think it can only mean good things. So to summarize, that second step, regulation, everything is just going ahead. Everything looks favorable. Now we go on to step 3, which is the value accrual. We see here that all transactions require Quant. So you need Quant to open a license, Overledger license. Consumption fees to read and write on Overledger, you need to be made in Quant. Everything is priced in Quant. Everything needs Quant. So I don't know what more you want me to tell you. This document here is the official document from Quant. So yeah, I don't know what more you want me to tell you. It's a limited supply of 14 million. How it works is that the Quant treasury makes market buys for their clients. The clients pay them in fiat. They take that fiat, they go and market buy Quant from the actual market. So to summarize everything, all the 3 steps. Number 1, Quant is needed by large enterprise. They've been doing this for several years. They've got very good connections, good fundamentals. Second thing, regulations have been being unblocked recently. There's movement going on there. It somehow coincides with the price rise. My thinking is that, their enterprise clients were just waiting for the green light. Then third thing is everything needs Quant tokens. So I'm assuming regulations gave those enterprises the green light. They paid Quant some money saying, yes, let's do it. And then Quant goes and market buys the Quant tokens, which gives us a price rise. So yes, obviously, I think this is going to continue. Quant is a type of project which they sort of keep their head down. They just focus on solving problems for enterprise. They've been doing that for the past few years. I don't see why they would change for the next couple of years. So yes, it's going to keep rising. I know this sounds very shilly and obviously, I'm invested in Quant, but I don't know what more to tell you. This is just everything just makes sense. So that's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I do, I talk about fundamental analysis for different projects. I look at educational things around crypto. I try to explain things step by step in simple words. I also cover Quant. So if you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button. And thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you sitting down, listening to me, doing your cooking, listening to me, jogging, listening to me. I don't know what you're doing. Thank you very much. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.